viewers online, staff and councillors, and the time is 5:59. The public is advised that it is council policy to record the proceedings of meetings of council on digital media to assist in the preparation of minutes and to ensure that a true and accurate account of debate and discussion of meetings is available. This audio recording is authorised by the Local Government Meeting Procedures Regulations 2025. I'd also like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Tomagina people, and to pay our respect to those that have passed before us, their history and their culture. Item 1 is record of attendance. Item 1.3, leave of absence previously approved to Councillor Kevin Hyland. Item 2, confirmation of minutes of previous ordinary meeting. The recommendation is that the minutes of the ordinary meeting of Waratah Wynyard Council held at Council Chambers, 21 Saunders Street, Wynyard, on Monday the 16th of February 2026, a copy of which, having been previously circulated to councillors prior to the meeting, be confirmed as a true and correct record. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Councillor Roberts. Could I have a seconder, please? Deputy Mayor Edwards. Are there any corrections to these minutes, amendments, queries? Okay, it looks like there are none, so I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 3, declarations of interest. Are there any councillors that have a declaration of interest for this evening's meeting? Are there any staff that have a declaration of interest? Okay, moving on. Item 4, councillors' announcements and report. Announcements by the Mayor. Item 4.1, incivility, a threat to democracy at the Victorian Local Government Association workshop on the 27th of February. I'm not going to read out that report. I hope that you all do get to read it. I will read out the last paragraph. The overarching message from the workshop was that civility is not the absence of disagreement, but the ability to disagree respectfully while continuing to work in the best interests of the community. The second item in my report is International Women's Day. The International Women's Day 2026 celebrations at this council on Wednesday the 4th of March focused on the theme Give to Gain. Guest speakers were Cynthia Hilliger, a local business owner, and Wynyard High School Assistant Principal Helena Moore. Both shared inspiring messages reflecting this year's theme that encourages us all to support one another, not just in words, but through everyday actions. And I wish to thank all the staff for this well-organised event, which was enjoyed by everyone in attendance. Item 4.2, there is a recommendation before you, councillors, that you note the Mayor's communications. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Councillor Roberts. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Raw. Are there any queries, questions, comments? If not, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. 4.3, reports by delegates. None have been received. 4.4, notification of council workshops. The recommendation is that council notes the following workshops. They are listed there. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
So moved.
Councillor Johnson. Could I have a seconder, please? Deputy Mayor Edwards. Are there any queries or comments regarding this motion, please? If not, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 5, public questions and statements. Responses to public questions taken on notice from the previous meeting. 5.1.1. Mr Ewington, a ragwort management by council question. There is an officer's response that is included in the minutes. 5.1.2, Mr Ewington had a question regarding ragwort, and there is an officer's response as well against that question. 5.1.3, Mr Gladwell, roadside spraying. There is an officer's response regarding the question posed by Mr Gladwell. 5.2, public questions received in writing, nil. Public questions without notice. 5.4, public statements received in writing, and 5.5, public statements without notice. Now, I understand, Mr. Ewington, you have a statement to make this evening.
That's correct.
Okay. Before you give that statement, I will read out this statement. The Council encourages community participation in its meetings through the opportunity for public questions and statements. Consistent with Council's core values, councillors and staff strive to ensure all people are treated with respect and integrity. We expect our residents and ratepayers to apply similar standards in their dealings with Council. As Mayor, it is my responsibility to maintain the orderly conduct of Council meetings and to ensure that the meeting is conducted in accordance with the Council meeting procedures. This includes determining whether a question or statement is out of order due to the use of offensive, objectionable or defamatory expressions. In particular, the Council meeting procedures relating to public questions and statements require that there is a time limit of 3 minutes per person to ask questions. A maximum of 3 questions may be asked per person. Any parts to questions are considered to be questions. All questions to be asked before a response is provided. Once a question is answered, there is to be no debate on that question. Public statements are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person, and there is to be no questions or discussions related to that statement. Ask members of the public to show proper consideration and courtesy in their comments. So if you would like to come forward, please, Mr. Ewington.
We Management 2025. Since 1990, the Wynyard Council made a commitment on weed control by tackling different weeds like pampas grass, center thistle, including ragwort, etc. This season has been a complete failure by the North NRM department in controlling the current outbreak of ragwort. The weed is now in the stage of finished flowering and now in the process to seed and spreading mode, which will cause over 10 years backward step in. Controlling the weed throughout the community, 2016, and many may never be able to controlling the weed throughout the community, supposed to be in 2026, may never be able to control the weed outbreak again. Through no follow-up action by NRM department with property owners with the ragwort outbreak through 2025 and 2025 season, on properties listed below: 6 Ewingtons Road, Flowerdale, 16718 Bass Highway, Wynyard, Miss Docker. In relation to Miss Docker, the NRM officer, which is fully trained by security management, has the power to enforce landowner to act on the weed. If no action taken, the NRM officer has the power to employ contractors in removal of the weed. Once this is completed, costs of removal of the weed are forwarded to the landowner for payment. Through this non-action, a small outbreak will now become a major outbreak with a spread of 250,000 seeds per head of plant from one landowner to many landowners throughout the community. This is a huge disappointment for many years of landowners and council staff controlling the outbreak and reducing the area to 3 known landowners. I have forward updates reports throughout the season to the council via MR indicating the stage of weed. In conclusion, it shows me that the council has lost its way with weed control in 2025 and have themselves to blame. Still, to this day, the RNM office has made no contact on arranging a meeting with me and discuss my concerns to weed management 2025. We'd like the council to make major changes to weed management 26 by arranging a management plan for owners for controlling the weed outbreak according to the council weed management policy for 2026-27. Arrange staff to show interest in the community by doing regular field visits to assess the potential weed outbreaks. Encourage community members to forward reports on weed outbreaks, and staff could take time to visit community members' concerns and thank them for reporting the outbreak. In conclusion, we have a wonderful, beautiful community, and if the council does not tackle the weed management problem, the community will quickly become the Waratah Wynyard capital for weeds. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ewington. Moving on to item 6, petitions, deputations and presentations. 6.1.1, petition school buses on the Murchison Highway. There is a recommendation before you, councillors, that reads, the council receives and notes the petition requesting that Yolla school buses be moved so that traffic exiting School Lane on the Murchison Highway has a clear line of sight. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Deputy Mayor Edwards. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Raw. Deputy Mayor Edwards, do you wish to discuss or open a debate about this motion?
No, it was only brought up at the community conversation, so it's great that someone's done a petition to, you know, get some push for that line of sight, to visuality for people to move it for them.
Okay. Are there any further speakers to the motion?
Just in speaking with the councillors before the meeting, that our councillors agree that it's probably anything that makes the children safer is okay with us. So we're fully supportive of it, absolutely.
Okay, are there any other speakers against the motion?
Yes,
For the
brief-
motion?
Yes, for the motion. Just briefly, I don't think it'd be too hard to fix. It just means move the buses up the road a bit or down past the intersection there. That's all it needs, and I think it'd be plenty of view for coming out the school lane. It's just my opinion.
Thank you for that. Are there any further speakers? If not, excuse me, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Item 7, we are now moving into a planning authority which has opened at 6:11. Item 7, under the Planning Authority items, public questions without notice. We have none. 7.2, public statements relating to planning matters, nil received. 7.3, for planning scheme amendment, PSA 1/2025 for 319 Murchison Highway, Somerset. There is a recommendation before you, councillors, in acting as a planning authority. And there are 5 parts to this motion, and each part is recommended in accordance with the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993. The intent of this recommendation is to rezone the site from agricultural to low-density residential. No further development of the site is included in this proposal for decision. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Councillor Johnson. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Raw. Councillor Johnson, do you wish to open the debate around this item?
I think it's a great outcome. I think it's been a work in progress for some years now. So happy with the decision and the outcome.
Thank you. Any further speakers to this motion? Are there any speakers against this motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Oh, Councillor Bramage.
Sorry, just want to speak for the motion. I was trying to think all weekend what would be some good words to say, because I believe this would be fantastic for our area, but for the region. I guess I come up with probably the best thing since sliced bread. So I'm really happy that this is going ahead. And I think if we look around the municipality, there's more areas like this that can go forward down the track. So I fully support it.
Thank you, Councillor Bramage, for that recommendation as well. Thank you. Any further speakers?
I'll just say this, obviously we need more homes in our region. It's a problem Tasmania-wide, and it does go to show that we're being quite progressive as a region and that people do have a great interest in actually building in Waratah Wynyard, which is great going forward. So I just want to say that's exciting news, and it'll be great to see more people joining us in our patch of paradise.
Thank you. If there are no further speakers, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. The Planning Authority closes at 6:13. Item 8, matters raised by councillors. Responses to councillor questions taken on notice from the previous meeting. 8.1.1, councillor Johnson, Burnie Airport Security. You have put forward a question and there is an officer's response. And I will also advise that I attended the Senate hearing here at Council regarding regional airports, and security has been mentioned, but no outcome has been provided. 8.2, councillor questions received in writing, nil. Councillor questions without notice. Are there any councillor questions without notice this evening? Councillor Courtney.
I've got three, and they're all to foreshadow motions I'd like to raise with council. I saw a presentation by the Honourable Craig Garland, and it raised some questions for me that I decided to go and do some of my own research on, which has resulted in a couple of motions that I'd like to put to my fellow councillors, because while I'm repeatedly being told that Marinus is none of our business as a local council, some of the things I've heard are concerning for me, and I believe it does prompt that there are matters that are within our realm and we have responsibilities to our community. So first question will be that I would like to raise in a workshop, have a discussion for the next meeting, for an urgent review of water security and development controls for high intensity data centres. The proposed resolution would just direct the General Manager to prepare a report investigating the cumulative
Cumulatively.
So I've got new dentures and my words are not going to come out as easy. Got to get used to it.
Accumulates.
On the municipality's water security, our agricultural allocations and Taswater's infrastructure capacity. There's also other things in that motion that I'd like to discuss and put to the next council.
Could you please pose your question, because that's actually...
Yeah, that is a question. Can I bring that to the workshop and put that forward at the next council meeting?
Right.
Can I also please ask, as a question, could we bring to a workshop before the next meeting a second motion, and that is that the Waratah Wynyard Council pass a resolution of no confidence in the financial transparency and community impact of the project Marinus. I've got my reasonings there. I'd like to discuss that at a workshop. Could we please discuss that and raise that at the next council motion? And could we please have the discussion about the Living Income Pilot Program? I would like to raise a motion at the next council meeting. I know that it's been on the agenda for discussion for a little while now, but I would like the motion to be advocacy for Waratah Wynyard as a pilot site for a guaranteed living income program, given the massive amount of job turnover and job redundancies as part of the AI movement at the moment. As we would all be aware, they've started in Australia and that is going to impact our area. And I've got reasoning in there why we should do that in line with these other motions. So could I please discuss?
That we're only looking at the questions at the moment. Thank you for giving your rationale.
Yeah, to bring
what
them
I
to a
need,
workshop.
what I needed,
Yes.
are the questions without the rationale. So
Could I please bring those to a workshop for discussion?
all three.
Yes,
Okay.
for the next
Okay,
council
been
meeting.
Noted. The questions have been noted.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So just bear in mind, if we get to this section, questions without notice is about questions, not the rationale behind them. The rationale you can share with us at the workshop, which is where you can have a real good go at convincing us of what you're wanting to happen.
Yeah, that's my question. Can we bring them to the workshops before the meeting? And I have given the paperwork to council to be
Okay.
shared among councillors.
Thank you about that. Okay, so we've got three. Are there any other councillors that have any questions without notice? If not, we'll move on to item 9, notice of motion, nil received. Item 10, reports of officers and committees, 10.1, quarterly information report, organisational performance. The recommendation is that council notes the quarterly information report for organisational performance as of the 28th of February 2026. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
So moved.
Councillor Roberts, could I have a seconder, please?
Seconded.
Councillor Courtney. Councillor Roberts, do you wish to
say the same thing I say every time. We're the best, I truly believe we've got the best performing staff in any local government council in Tasmania. So we literally, I truly believe, set the standard, especially as a regional community and a regional council. And yeah, I just really encourage everyone to read these reports in the agenda because they're just full of valuable information. So
Thank you. Okay, any further comments, discussion around Deputy Mayor Edwards?
I just wanted to ask a question, page 54 on Sisters Beach camping. Just wanted to know, like, who is on the that camping group that they've done? Like, is it just community members, council staff? Is it any councillors? And, you know, like, how far progressive is it coming along?
Okay, do we have any?
Don't need names, just, you know, how it's formed.
Yeah, okay, we'll take that one on notice, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions from this report? No further questions? If there are no further questions, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 10.2, community consultation cemeteries. The recommendation before you, councillors, is that council endorses community consultation to determine community interest in broadening the current area available for ashes interment within native and/or ornamental garden settings in Wynyard to complement existing niche and wall options.
So moved.
Councillor Courtney has moved.
second,
Councillor Roberts seconded. Councillor Courtney, would you like to speak to this motion?
Oh, I hope that the community reads through it and actually does give feedback, because I think this is an area that we need to look at conserving land. We can't just forever grow cemeteries. There's too many people to just keep doing it the way we've always done it. So hopefully there'll be a lot of feedback in this, and we can look at a way to conserve area moving forward.
Thank you. Any further comments? Is there anyone who wishes to speak against the motion, please? Speaking for the motion,
I just
Councillor
want to say real quickly, it's something about council, local government, that anything really at all, whether it is the Christmas decorations or cemeteries or the paths, we've got the Fossil Bluff and surrounded trails, for example, planned, OSA in relation to sport and outside activities, that I think the public would be shocked almost by the amount of different things we do discuss in workshops, and just whether it's from the beginning of life to the end of life, we actually really do want people in our region to have the best experience from birth to death. And things like the early childhood centre that we childcare centre, and just things like the cemetery plan, etc., go to show that this council, these staff, the management, literally do respond to so many different things that are issues that might arise in the future, or issues we sort of experience the crunch on now with space, etc. And just to want to reassure the public that things like this, such as this, it really is an important topic around the table, and we've discussed it a few times. We've had a great look, and our staff have done an amazing job on this one as well. And yeah, I support it absolutely. We endorse it. Thank you.
Any further speakers to this motion? I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 10.3, Accessibility Strategy Update. The recommendation is that Council notes the update on the implementation of the Accessibility Strategy and Inclusion Action Plan 2023 to 2026. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
Happy to move that.
Deputy Edwards. Could I have a seconder? Actually, Councillor Raw. Deputy Mayor Edwards, did you wish to speak to this motion?
I think it's, yeah, the update's really good and clear, and just with where we're sitting and how it's progressing. So, yeah, they've done a really good job.
Thank you. Are there any further speakers to this motion? Any speakers against the motion? If not, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 10.4 is the Community Wellbeing Plan Update. The recommendation that Council notes the update on the implementation of the Community Wellbeing Plan. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
So moved.
Councillor Courtney has moved.
Seconded.
Seconded, Councillor Roberts. Councillor Courtney, do you wish to speak against this, or for this, sorry?
No, I think this is one of the most important things that council does, is to make sure that our community is being looked after and cared for, and that we're taking all of our responsibilities and our decisions in their best interest. So I'm always happy to see an updated implementation that shows that we're continually working on it rather than sitting back on our laurels, writing the plan and then not worrying about it.
Thank you for that. Are there any further speakers, please?
I just want to credit our community department and community activation department and our director of community and engagement, Mr. Alan Catamole over there, for great work they do, and also Brian and Lucy and Steph and just everyone else I've probably missed already. So credit to them, and they'll not only with these plans and strategies will the words be on the page. I've seen time and time again with this council that the strategy and the vision behind it gets delivered in tangible results. So I'm looking forward to seeing this great work happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any speakers against the motion, please? If there are no further speakers, I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? I'll carry that unanimously. Item 10.5, Australia Day Awards Policy and Guidelines. Recommendation is that Council adopts the Australia Day Awards Policy and Guidelines with immediate effect. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
So move.
Councillor Courtney,
Seconded.
Councillor Roberts. Councillor Courtney, would you like to speak to this motion, please?
No, I don't think there's a lot that needs discussing. I think that's the motion is as it is.
Okay, thank you. Any further speakers? Deputy Mayor Edwards.
Yeah, it's really good that it's got the inclusion of Arts and Culture award in there as well this coming year. So yeah, it's really good that that's in there, and we can recognise, you know, great artists in our area and what they do in the community.
Okay, thank you for that.
I was just going to actually encourage members of our community to nominate people for these awards, because we really, there's so many, right, so many people I think just assume that those in our community that are doing this great work will be recognised for it, but unfortunately that's not always the case. I think it's great to show recognition to members of our region that are doing different things, achieving different outcomes in different vocations. So please get out there, nominate your family, nominate your friends, just nominate anyone that's doing great work out there, because we are begging to recognise their contributions to our region. And that's the one area, whether it's our these awards or sometimes in the past the assistance grants, is the big issue can sometimes be the amount of applications or nominations we actually receive. So get the word out, nominate all the people that deserve it, and truth be told, they all deserve recognition. So even if there's, you know, only certain winners in certain categories, we want to recognise all of the people that are making a contribution in our region. So thank you very much.
Any further speakers to this motion?
I'll close, if I could.
Okay.
Yeah, look. I think that's a good point to make. I'm happy that we're having the cultural contribution included and that we are broadening it. But it is a fair point to make that we need to have more people recognise that the Australia Day Awards aren't something that somebody else will nominate somebody for, that everybody in the community is responsible for it. And we have a lot of champions, a lot of volunteers in this community, that aren't being recognised at Australia Day Awards that should be. So I think the inclusiveness of the cultural recognition is fantastic, but also we need to make sure that all of our volunteers and all of our community members that should be recognised at that time of year are actually put up for our community.
Thank you. Are there any further speakers to this motion?
Closing statement. That was the closing statement.
True, sorry. That was the closing statement, so no more speakers allowed. I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 10.6, Community Activation Grants Policy and Guidelines. The recommendation is that Council adopts the amended Community Activation Grants Policy and Community Activation Grants Guidelines to transition from 2 funding rounds per year to a single annual funding round aligned with the financial year, effective from the 1st of July 2026.
So moved.
Councillor Courtney.
Seconded.
Councillor Courtney, would you like to open
I
the
think this is
discussion.
a smart move, not just for budgetary considerations, but so that people know when it is every year. Because when it's split, people tend to forget when the rounds are being done. I think when it's just one round a year and it's all in, I think that's a much better way to do it, and it halves the amount of admin that needs to be done around those applications. So I'm looking forward to a fairly good take-up at the next round. I won't be here to do it, but I'm hoping that we get good take-up, and having it once a year, we'll actually have a lot more people that are interested.
Thank you for that, Councillor Roberts.
Right, just following on from 10.5 as well. In regards to this, unfortunately in the past even, and I was the youth officer and the recreation officer here, so I know this for a fact, that even the amount of applications sometimes we got over those 2 rounds, we didn't give away all the grant funding because the applications just weren't there. This year, this past year, for the first time that we've actually had such an influx of applications that we've had to really sort of sit and nut it out as to what do we do and where do we allocate this money. Now, if people have missed out on these grants, it's not because their projects are unworthy. It's because just for whatever reason this year, it's just been an absolute influx. So again, referencing the point that in workshops we have actually discussed this, and there's the question on the table is what do we do going forward with the community grants rounds in terms of the size and scope of it. And I just again want to encourage all community groups to apply for these grants. If you're a not-for-profit or a registered not-for-profit sporting group, or you're just even a person that's putting on an event in the community, by all means, please apply for this grants application. It also allows us to see the vast amount of different projects and events and things that are happening in our region. It allows us to engage with a lot of these groups that are participating, and I think it's a really great sign, the amount of involvement that is happening in our community, the amount of community groups there are, the amount of projects that are on the go, and the amount of organisations, community organisations that are expanding and needing new items or infrastructure or different things. It's really exciting time in our region, especially when the world needs it the most. So credit to everyone that's involved, the staff and the members of the community, and just encourage more groups to actually apply for this and give us an idea of where exactly we're up to in terms of the funding we'll need. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. Deputy Mayor Edwards.
Just a question, because it's been 2 and it's now going to go into 1. Is there a way that we can let previous people that have been given the grants to know that, you know, it's into 1 now, and, you know, if they normally go for the second round, just so that they're forewarned if they don't see this communication on the council website. I didn't know if there was a way of communicating that via email or somehow, so.
Through the Mayor. That's something we should definitely communicate, the change, and we tend to notify previous applicants as well. So we will undertake, and I think part of the way it's been taken up so well is our advertising and promotion of the grant program.
Thank you. Are there any further speakers to this motion? Are there any speakers against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. 10.7. Local Government Association of Tasmania General Meeting motions. Recommendation that Council authorises the Mayor or her representative to discuss and vote on the items listed for the Local Government Association of Tasmania Legat General Meeting agenda on the 10th of April 2026, in line with Council's position as detailed on Table 1 in this report.
So moved.
Councillor Courtney has moved and Councillor Bramich seconded. Councillor Courtney, did you wish to discuss this motion at all?
No, I think there are only small modifications, won't really impact our council, so I don't see any problem with those motions.
Are there any other further speakers to this motion? Any speakers against the motion? If not, I now put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. 10.8, the financial report for the period ended 28th of February 2026. The recommendation before you is that council notes the financial report for the period ended 28th of February 2026. Could I have a mover for that motion? Councillor Johnson moved and Councillor Roberts seconded. Councillor Johnson, do you wish to discuss any?
Other than just another thorough report on that, it's got everything there that you need to know about what's going on, what's being spending and all that, so that's all.
Thank you. Any Deputy Mayor Edwards?
Yeah, just a question, point 3 on page 88, the tourism and marketing. We've got an unfavourable there for I think the Athenham Hall and campground. Is there any other reason or just the late receipt of the June quarter invoice as to why it's unfavourable, or what did?
Through you, Mayor. Yeah, so there's two aspects to that. One is that we received the June invoice for the power for the Athenham Hall late, and we weren't able to accrue it back in the last financial year, which is a significant portion of that unfavourable variance. And then the second aspect is that a number of the Waratah properties have come off a pricing contract that we had with Aurora and have moved to normal market pricing. And that contract that we had hasn't been replaced by Aurora with a new pricing contract. So therefore we have seen an actual uplift in our actual power prices for a number of our properties, which is part of the reason too. So there's two parts to it. Some of that will be ongoing and additional cost, and some of it is a one-off.
Thank you for that clarification. Are there any further questions or comments? Deputy Mayor Edwards.
Sorry. Also, point 6, the vandalism to the toilets. Is that consistent with our usual cost of vandalism to toilets? I know it's up, but overall the whole year with where we're sitting, is that like normal kind of thing, average?
Through you, Mayor, I'll partly take it on notice. What I will say is we don't, I guess, budget highly for vandalism. Obviously, we don't want it to occur, but we don't lock up budgetary funds for that vandalism. So from time to time, we do get a variance like that. The actual how that compares to previous years, I'll take it on notice. So, yeah.
Thank you for that information. Are there any further questions relating to?
I just want to say and just follow up real quickly with what Mr. Smith just said about the light costs and some of them unfavourable variances. Absolutely, the cost of living spiralling out of control. The cost of utilities is going up massively, whether it be water or power and petrol and just everything. Operating expenses for people in life and home is also something our council experiences on a mass scale, because of the amount of vehicles we have, the amount of buildings we power. Basically what I'm saying here is those costs affect council as well. So if people see some of these unfavourable variances, they'll think, that, there's something, that we're not doing right or whatnot. But unfortunately, we also, much like the homeowners and the people, the households, we also get hit with them power costs, except unfortunately, we might have them power costs spread across 120 different facilities. And so that's where a lot of those variances come from. And because it's such a short-term thing, that crunch comes in, they say the price is going up. It's actually a short-term, a quarter, 3 months to actually to offset those variables. And so I have absolute complete confidence in our finance department to be able to, get everything back into the black and make sure we can balance those costs and look at our line items and figure out where we can perhaps. And Deputy Mayor Edwards touches a great point too, that if we save the $13,000 on the vandalism, well, that's the actual unfavourable variance in the development services. So really there's ways we can as a community and members of our community and make sure that we can actually offset some of them costs by spending less money on things such as damage that are completely unnecessary. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. Are there any further speakers to this motion? Are there any speakers against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 10.9, the Senior Management Report. The recommendation is that Council notes the Senior Management Report.
So moved.
Councillor Courtney moved. Could I have a seconder, please?
Second.
Councillor Johnson seconded. Councillor Courtney, do you wish to speak to this motion?
I'll only note that there was a meeting with Minister Archer, so I'm hoping that the question that I've asked for a yes or no response to will be answered in due course.
Through you, Mayor, we have asked for a yes or no answer
Yeah.
specifically. Nothing
Yes, so I'm hoping after the meeting that the Minister understands that it was a yes or no question, that's the response we'll get, I hope.
Thank you for that.
Any progression, in the senior management report on the motion that we put through local government? Has there been any contact, many of the ministers, about the whistleblower policy being reviewed at all as voted on by local government?
No, I haven't had a recent through you, Mayor, sorry. I haven't had a recent update from the CEO of Legat, but I will certainly chase that up for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Are there any further questions? Or yes, just a moment, Councillor Johnson.
Just a question on the action 16 to the 12th regarding the speed limit at Old Bass Highway. Notice is still in progress. Yeah, that was 12th of 24. We're now into 26. How's that faring?
Through you, Mayor, post publication of the agenda, we have actually received an answer from the Transport Commissioner, and they've decided in favour of lowering that speed limit to 60 kilometres per hour. So,
Fantastic.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Councillor Roberts, did you have any questions?
Just to say here on page 93 that our community conversation at Boat Harbour went really well on the 11th of March. So as it has in here, the next community conversation we have is scheduled for the 15th of April at Waratah. So just to give the Waratah residents heads up, we'll be at the Athenaeum Hall on the 15th of April, and just to give a fair warning that we'll be there and to come on down and see us. So, all right.
Thank you.
And hopefully some free food. So.
Are there any further comments, questions about this report? If not, I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 10.10, minutes of other bodies, notes of Waratah Community Board meeting Friday the 6th of February 2026, and the recommendation is that Council receives the notes of the Waratah Community Board meeting held on Friday 6th of February 2026. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Deputy Mayor Edwards. Could I have a seconder, please? Sorry, it was Councillor Bramage. Deputy Mayor Edwards, did you wish to make any comments?
No, I just happy to move with the recommendation.
Are there any other speakers to this motion or against this motion, please? If not, I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 10.10.2, minutes of other bodies, committees, sustainability and environmental advisory panel held on the 17th of February 2026. There are two parts to this recommendation. The first one is that Council notes the unconfirmed minutes of the Sustainability and Environmental Advisory Panel meeting held on the 17th of February 2026. The second part requests endorsement from the Council, the recommendation from the meeting that Council endorse the state of the Environment Advocacy Statement and authorise the Mayor and CEO to advocate where appropriate to the Tasmanian Government for matters outlined within the statement. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
So moved.
Councillor Courtney has moved. Could I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Edwards. Councillor Courtney, do you wish to speak to this motion, please?
Hopefully we've all had a look at the advocacy statement and we're happy to support it.
Thank you for that. Any further speakers to this motion? Deputy Mayor Edwards?
Yeah, I was happy just to work within the room on this group, and the advocacy statement, it's really good with what they've come up with and how to go forward into the future with, council and us as a body to, make the best outcome for the environment. So
Thank you for that. Any further speakers? Anyone wish to speak against this motion? If not, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Item 11, matters proposed for consideration in the closed meeting. The recommendation is that the council resolves by an absolute majority that the matters listed below be considered in the closed meeting. Could I have a mover for that motion? Councillor Roberts, could I have a seconder, please? Sorry, Councillor Bramage. I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Item 12, closure of the meeting to the public. There is a recommendation that the council resolves by an absolute majority to go into the closed meeting to consider the following matters at 6:44 p.m. Councillor Johnson and seconded Councillor Roberts.